Proper good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Muskan Sangwan, and I'm a dark web threat intelligence analyst here at StealthMole. As Jacob has already mentioned, StealthMole is an open source intelligence platform focusing on deep and dark web monitoring, including Telegram tracking. So today we are going to take a closer look at something which at first glance looks like just another ransomware case, but quickly turns into something much more layered. This is the HellCat ecosystem. And what makes this interesting is not the attacks, but also the structure behind it. We are going to break down how it operates, where it shows up, and most importantly, how different actors fit into this bigger picture. So let's move on. Okay. Quickly start with the basics. HellCat first starts appearing around 2024, not through announcements or branding, but directly with activity. Its activity appeared through leak posts on underground forums, on onion sites where victim data is published. Now, what's important here is that there is no single clear identity behind it. Multiple personas, multiple touch points, all loosely connected to each other. And that's where the things start getting interesting, because it does not necessarily behave like a traditional centralized ransomware group. But when you look at the higher level, the workflow looks quite familiar. So what exactly do? They gain unauthorized access to organizations, exfiltrate their sensitive data, and then use that data as leverage for extortion. Quite typical, if you ask me, because this is something that we have commonly observed with multiple ransomware groups. So what exactly is how HellCat differentiates from other groups? So the key difference is how visible everything is. Instead of keeping things quiet, HellCat emphasis on public exposure, leak posts, victim listings, pressure through visibility. So the operation isn't just technical, but also psychological. And when we look at the targets and activities, there's no narrow focus, because we have seen them targeting the telecom industry, the government-related entities, enterprises, and even large-scale data sets. And these targets have been observed on multiple forums, and these forums are used for visibility, of course. Telegram is primarily used for coordination, and onion sites for leak hosting. So you can see that there's no single channel, but rather a distributed, extensive presence where each platform has a specific role to play. And this is where the HellCat case really stands out, because what we are looking at here is not a single actor, multiple linked personas, some focusing on access providing, some on administration, while other actors are just there for maintaining presence. There's definitely a clear separation of roles, but no obvious central command. And it's really helpful if you ask me, because even if identity changes, the channel gets taken down, or there's, someone gets nabbed by the law enforcement, the activity won't stop. It continues. And that's the key shift in the perspective, because you are not tracking a group or a particular actor anymore. You are tracking an ecosystem. And this is what we are going to look at today, how you can map such complex ecosystems using our platform StealthMole. Now, before we move on to StealthMole for the live demo, let me quickly give you all a short disclaimer. The profiling insights presented in this session are derived from open source intelligence, and due to the complex nature of cyber operations, attribution cannot be fully verified or guaranteed. We do not intend to attribute or unmask any individual or group. Our primary objective is to introduce StealthMole and demonstrate a new methodology for behavioral profiling within a cybersecurity context. Now let's jump to StealthMole. So this is what you will find once you log into StealthMole platform behind the paywall. It is super easy to create new case. Just hit on new case and it will take you to the canvas of our platform. As you can see, there are multiple tools that will assist you in your investigation. There's also a search bar, and you can even update the title so it helps you later on. So now, since we have already established that we are going to take a look at the ransomware group. So these are the multiple monitoring tools that StealthMole supports. The first one is ransomware monitoring. Here, as you can see, we have over 28,000 victims listed over the years. So what we are going to do is we are just going to search with a keyword. Now, StealthMole supports keyword search, unlike other traditional investigation tool where you need an artifact to start your investigation. So here you can just simply search with a keyword and you are good to go. As you can see, we have one of the ransomware attacks. This is the website. Let me quickly show you what it looks like. The exact URL, the homepage. They even have 5 different mirrors to pick from. Along with that, we also support historical indexing. So you can take a look how the website looks like back in time. So as you can see, multiple other victims, and you don't even have to leave our platform and go to other archive platforms to see. So this is the user ID for the group, and these are the victim details along with the country. So normally what I would do is I would just run it further in dark web tracker. So the first tool that you see is the dark web tracker. You can also label the nodes. Quickly label it. That helps us later on. So ransomware. And along with that, you can even color code them. So as you can see, there are 8 different domains associated with this URL. Now, I would like to specify that when you search with the Tor URL, the pink one, the results might be slightly different than when you search with the Tor domain. So let's quickly add all of these domains. This looks quite similar. So let's add all of them. HellCat files. The last one looks different, so let's leave it. So this is the same domain as the URL. So let's label it as primary. And also let's color code it red. Let me quickly show you before we move on. So that, as you can see, the website is already down, so there is no way you can access it now. But thanks to StealthMole, you can access all the data and even how it looked like back in time. So again, there are some screenshots. There's okay. So as you can see, we also have surface web, some breach forums. This is not surface web. This is from dark web platform breach forums. So let's add them. More URLs, unrelated though. Okay, this is the surface web website. Some email address, docs ID, images, hash, etc. Now, I know that if we add them, there will be a repetition when we search with the primary domain. So let's directly search with the domain. Okay, the same domain that we have already seen. Some of the data is similar, but now we have a PGP key. 2 different email addresses. Let's add them. The same email that has the PGP. We even have a credit card detail, so let's add it. Docs ID. You can even see the images that they have, posted on their website. Let me quickly show you. So this one is, just a random file. Okay, we have a leaked file. From the preview, it looks like just a listing, but let's add it. And the malware hashes. First, let's add the hashes and then talk about it. So these hashes are really important because they come directly from the tool that HellCat is using. So even if a channel gets taken down, a website gets taken down, or even if HellCat decides to drop everything and start fresh, these hashes won't change. They help you identify these people. So let's say some of the groups, borrow toolkits from Logbit and other more established ransomware groups. So with these hashes, you can precisely identify if they belong to a certain ransomware group or not. Like in this case, they are HellCat's toolkit hashes. So even in future, when HellCat is no longer operating as HellCat, you will identify them easily. And that's the more, it's really, important from an intelligence standpoint. So let's move on and take a look at other domains and see if there's something else that we can find. As we have already seen on their platform that there are 5 different mirror domains. So most of the data you might see, you might search is similar. So this one is actually mirror. So let's see if there's anything different that we can find. So while it's loading, let's see what we have found so far. So we have the PGP key, 2 different email addresses, credit card details, a docs ID, a leaked file, and hashes. I don't think they have anything different from here. So let's take a look. Okay, so just give me a second. Wait. Let's go back to Dark Web Tracker. Let me just quickly refresh it. I think there is some issue. Okay, here we go. So let's just search them again. As you can see, there are again the same HellCat domains, more URLs, but these URLs are unrelated to our investigation. There's also PGP key. Let me just try to fit the screen. Okay, it looks perfect now. So another email ID, another PGP key, and let's take a look at the docs. More images. These are just logos, so let's leave them. And let's move to the next one. So there is definitely an overlap in some of the artifacts because since most of these domains are mirror domains, so you might see same results for most of them, like the same domains, URLs. Okay, these, let me specify what the difference is with the URL and domain. So with the URL, you can also see subpages. Like here we have contact page. So when you click on, you can see the subpage of the website, like contact us. There is a talks mentioned, XMPP, PGP, how to buy Bitcoin, etc. So this is where the difference lies. Same PGP and same email address. So let's just skip over these because they all look similar to me. And this one looks different. So let's run this one. Let me quickly show you what this domain looks like. So it says HellCat files, file sharing platform. There's no historical indexing available for this, but this website is live at the moment. So you don't even have to leave our platform and go to dark web to access it because you can find most of the data here. Also, I think we have no sub important pages, so let's skip that. We have Ransom Look as well. So Ransom Look is a legit platform. And okay, we have a breach forum. So let's take a look at this. So breach forums profile where HellCat has uploaded one of the victim listings. So this was posted by Rey. He calls himself HellCat administrator, and they targeted car care plan. So let's see what else we have. So we have their Surface Web website, Onion Mirror, and some details on HellCat administrators and members. So what we are going to do is we're going to run it further in Dark Web Tracker and try to extract as much information as we can regarding the users and the group. So we'll have to wait for a few seconds. So this is the HellCat domain. This is the same. So it's unrelated. Since there are over 27, what we are going to do is we are just going to filter the results by just searching with user. As you can see, they have listed all the user profiles here. Rey was the one that we looked at. Pricks. These are all HellCat members. You see how easy it is to map their profiles because you don't have to manually go and find each of them because they were embedded in the breach forums thread. This is the Surface Web website, the CCP link, even a Telegram. So let's have Telegram here and a session ID. Multiple images again, so they and files. So let's take a look at Rey. So let me quickly show you what the profile looks like. Okay, there are Telegram messages, Telegram message ID. So these message IDs shows you that this particular user profile is actively circulated on Telegram. So this is the profile. It says AKA Hiki-chan and Rey. So that means Rey also has another alias, Hiki-chan. If you want, you can just further search with Hiki-chan and then try to, investigate more just based on the actor. Location is Virginia. I know that's fake, but there's also a home page and signature with multiple threat actors information. So let's run this again. Okay, we have the domains, we have their child URLs. So this is basically Rey's profile. So most of these breach forum threads that you will come across are posted by Rey himself. So, or they mention Rey in whatever context. So if you want, you can, investigate them further, but this is the surface map that he mentioned in his bio. Okay, the same Telegram. So what we are going to do is let's delete this Telegram from here and add it to Rey. We have another session ID and some more images. These images are likely his profile pictures. So if you want, you can add them, but they are not that important. Now let me introduce you all our Telegram tracker. So just like Dark Web Tracker, Telegram Tracker also monitors Telegram. Now, what's interesting here is that you, again, similar to Dark Web Tracker, you never have to leave our platform. It tracks the pages for you here. Even if a user account is taken down or channel no longer exists, it doesn't matter because we have all the data for you on our database. So as you can see, this user has the same ID. Also, that means this particular Telegram user has changed his username thrice over the years, leaking, Rizzler, and with no username. This account is already down, but if you want to see what it looks like, you can just look back in time. So Rey, there's also a no hello.net website mentioned. And if you can even take a look back at all the profile pictures. So also, along with the profile details, you can also look at all the messages this user has sent in different Telegram channels and privately. So you can sort them out by oldest first if you want more. So as you can see here, Rey said yay and more. So what if you want more results, what you can do is you can just further run the user profile in Telegram Tracker. Now it will try to extract the exact channels Rey was a member of and other details associated with him. As you can see, we have 11 Telegram channels that Rey was a member of: Breach, VIP Chat, CSAC, Dark Forums, Double Face, etc. Now, same, we have multiple messages. You can add some of them if you'd like. IP addresses, that's interesting. So let's add them. So I would like to clarify that these IP address does not necessarily belong to Rey, but they are mentioned in the messages. So you will have to search them further to clarify the context in which they were circulated. We also have a Bitcoin wallet, so let's add it. And 7 user profiles. If you want, you can add it to the canvas. So now first, let's take a look at one of the IP addresses. What we are going to do is, let's take where it belongs. So it's based in Brazil. We also have the exact coordinates. So the message is, so Rey circulated it in the double face chat, FTP. So there's no other details regarding it. So it definitely does not belong to Rey, because sometimes threat actors actually dox other threat actors. And that's how you can sometimes find more information related to these. Now let's take a look at the Bitcoin wallet. Although we don't have proper Bitcoin chain analysis features yet, but you can take a look at the source and you can see what type of transactions have been done on a particular wallet. In this case, only 3 transactions, but it shows that it's active, and the last transaction was done back in June 2025. To understand if it really belongs to Rey, what we are going to do is we are going to run it again in Telegram Tracker, and try to look at the message in which it was circulated. So here Ray posted, "Flash my wallet with your scary crypto flashing." So he openly attributed it to himself. So we don't have to do anything. So it definitely belongs to Ray. So you can label it Ray's BTC. Let's take a look at other users as well. So this is Prick's profile, and let's run it in Dark Web Tracker and take a look what it looks like. So Holy Pricks, he has not specified his role within the HellCat ecosystem, but you can say there's a homepage mentioned, also a video message. If you're reading this, it means you got pricked. When we search it further, what you can find though is you can find multiple posts by Pricks himself. You can find other accounts details. So here, let's take a look if, okay, this was posted. Easy CTF, great work. Again, HellCat, other threat actor details. We also have one more Telegram. So let's add this and his images, his profile pictures on different platforms. So yeah, the Holy Pricks. Now let's take a look at the Telegram tracker again. But before moving that, let's run the Telegram in Dark Web. So when you run this Telegram in Dark Web, it will show you results where this particular Telegram channel is mentioned and in what context. So like new mods and admins. So let's see what it shows us. Okay. This one is not related to HellCat. Okay, this was Holy Pricks. Too bad. Okay, it was just randomly added in a random post by Pricks. So let's move back to Telegram and see if it was okay. This is actually a channel, unlike the previous one where we have seen that was a user account. There's one specific message from it and thousands of messages being circulated on the channel. What we are going to do is we are going to search with the channel itself, with the channel ID. Let me quickly show you what it looks like. So the title is Daily Pricks. The URL that we have found, Prixing Around is Fun. He has his own dark website. Nice. And you can see all the messages and the chats that different threat actors have circulated. Pricks on Snapchat. So you see how easy it is to find their different platforms from one artifact to another. So we also have different domains that he might have circulated on his channels, more IP address, Bitcoin wallets. They might not be associated to Pricks, and like it could be related to anyone, but we will have to search them further. We even have a Twitter, Telegram, user profiles, whatever you want. So you can see how within, just 15-20 minutes, we have, okay, wait, 15-20 minutes, we have find such important artifacts related to HellCat. There are 8 different domains, 7 malware hashes, multiple email addresses, PGP keys, credit card details, session IDs, even their Telegram channels, Bitcoin wallets, and all the messages that they circulate on Telegram, along with the user profiles on breach forums. Now, to wrap this all up, let me quickly show you our Canvas AI tool. Let's go back to it. So this is the Canvas AI report tool that we have. It's an inbuilt AI tool feature. We have 2 modes, basic mode and advanced mode. So basic mode is, it will generate a basic report for you within a minute or so. With the advanced mode, it might take 10 to 15 minutes, but it will generate a more detailed, contextful report for you, which you can just simply use to submit or to, forward it to someone. It will be based on the canvas and the investigation that we have performed. So the reason why I was labeling each and every domain or trying to label them, because it will help our AI tool to, identify them correctly and list them accordingly. So let's wait for a few seconds. In the meantime, if you want, we can take a look at another user profile and see what else we can find. So this belongs to Anon BF. But he has not mentioned, okay, initial access broker with HellCat. This is something that I have already mentioned, that some of the threat actors focus on access broking like AnonBF as well as Miyako. We have already profiled two actors within the HellCat ecosystem. First one is Rey, and second one is Miyako. Miyako focuses on initial access broker. Miyako is initial access broker, while Rey is the administrator. So if you would like, you can just visit StealthMole Intelligence Hub and take a look at those reports. So as you can see, within less than a minute, I think we have the report ready. We have a proper overview, key findings, incident summary, all the observed infrastructure artifacts properly listed, forums, forum profiles, PGP, communication details, financial, malware hashes, etc. We also have notable patterns and a disclaimer at the end because it's an AI tool and AI can make mistakes. You can simply copy it and paste it and turn it into a PDF to share and look at.